What is up, everybody? Welcome to Do You Want More, a UFC stat show here on the Monk Maddox channel. I am your host, Monk, aka Monk Master Flex, and let's get right into it. We've got a bunch of fights to cover for this weekend's event, UFC Fight Night, Hall versus Strickland. This video is going to be on the Trevin Jones-Ronnie Lawrence fight, so let's get right into it. This is a bantamweight bout. I should probably change my view there. There we go. Don't want to look at me the whole time. Bantamweight bout. Trevin Jones, 5'7", 70-inch reach. Ronnie Lawrence, 5'8", 68-inch reach, and he is almost 2 years younger than Trevin Jones. Jones professionally, 13-6. One no contest. He has 3 KO TKO wins and a 4 submission wins. He's also been submitted one time. He is 1-0 in the UFC, one no contest. He should be 2-0. But the really super smart marijuana rules got his victory over Valiev overturned. So he should be 2-0. But like I said, 1-0. And Ronnie Lawrence, 7-1 professionally. He is 1-0 in the UFC. So let us get into it here. Basic career stats, the ass whoop index, 8.89 for Trevin Jones, very good. Ronnie Lawrence in his one fight, 39.27. So he whooped Vince Cachero's ass in the ass whoop index there. Good for first in the bantamweight division. Also, power index 0, chin index 0. So not much, or I'm not going to say not much power, but he did not knock down Vince Cachero in his fight. Whereas Trevin Jones in his 2 fight has a couple of knockdowns, 4.08 power index, best in the bantamweight division. Chindex 1.15, that is not great. So power index, the rate at which you knock people down. Chindex, the rate at which you get knocked down. So you want the Chindex number to be 0, like it is for Lawrence, but it is not for Trevin Jones. Fight odds. Fight does not go to decision, -155, and Ronnie Lawrence is the -150 favorite. That line has moved a little bit in favor of Trevin Jones, so keep an eye on that as we go along later in the week here. Fight finishing data, both of them 100% finish win rates in their wins. Let's see here, 50%, that should be 100%, but stupid laws and whatnot. Not much to look at for the graphical analysis. Knockout win for both of them. Striking data, let's get into it here. So Trevin Jones lands 3.84 significant strikes per minute at 61% accuracy, so really good accuracy there. Average volume for the division. Ronnie Lawrence lands over 6 significant strikes per minute at 63% accuracy, so that is good for first in the division, 5th in the division for volume landed. So that is some good numbers there. We will go back to Trevin Jones here. Gets landed 6.81 significant strikes landed on him per minute in his fights at a 35.5% defense. Not good. Not good, either of those numbers. Where on the other hand, Mr. Lawrence here, in his one fight in the UFC, only 1.19 significant strikes landed on him per minute. 67% significant striking defense. Very, very good numbers in the division. Usually, if you see guys, that are very good strikers up here, really good numbers up here, their defensive numbers are not great. It's usually, middle of the division, lower end of the division. If you're up there throwing heat, you're usually getting some heat thrown back at you is kind of the thing. So if you're a defensive fighter, you don't throw as much and your defense is better. So that's a long way of saying these numbers are very good, and you don't see numbers like that too often. I know he only has one fight in the UFC, so I'm sure those will come down a little bit. But wow, what a showing there. Significant striking differential, almost 5, almost +5 for Ronnie Lawrence there. Whereas Trevin Jones in his 2 fights in the UFC almost had a -3 significant striking per minute differential. So complete opposite ends of the spectrum there. Let's go on to knockdown data. 2 knockdowns for Mr. Jones, 1 knockdown against, and no numbers to speak of for Ronnie Lawrence. I'm sure that will change though. Takedown data, 20% accuracy for Jones, no takedowns attempted against for him. Ronnie Lawrence lands 8 of 9 takedowns in his first fight, good for 89% takedown accuracy, and 100% takedown defense of both takedowns against him in his fight. Takedown shooting rate 7.44. Looking to go for that takedown possibly there, and a high number as well for Trevin Jones at a 6.25. So takedown That should be, I need to change this. Takedown landed per 15. That's what it should be. Wait a minute. I'm an idiot. Takedown per 15 differential. That's exactly what it is. 9.5 for Ronnie Lawrence, incredible number, and a plus 1.18 for Trevin Jones, also not a bad number there. But when you compare it to almost 10, you know, what are you going to do? Control time data, as we can probably figure out from the last category, Ronnie Lawrence dominates control time, 62% control time in his first fight, compared to just under 5%. He was controlled, so great numbers there. Get up time, 18 seconds. Hold down time, 52 seconds. Decent control time activity rate as well. And Jones has a bit better of a control time activity rate. That's kind of, you know, what are you doing on the ground? What are you doing up against the clinch? Are you throwing strikes? Are you going for takedowns? Are you going for ground and pound? Are you going for submissions? Blah, blah, blah. Are you just laying there? So that's kind of that number there. So not too bad from him. Submission and reversal data. Nothing to speak of. Ronnie Lawrence did get a sub thrown against him, which he defended. Neither one has gone for a takedown, and neither one has a reversal. Advanced significant striking data. What stands out to me here, as you would expect, Ronnie Lawrence's numbers much better than Trevin Jones. He does have some good accuracy numbers, does Jones, and leg strikes, distance strikes landed per minute, also a bit better than Lawrence. But Lawrence pretty much has him beat everywhere else. Head strikes landed per minute, 420, good for 7th in the division. That is a high number at 60% as well. So better striking numbers for Lawrence all around. Advanced significant striking percentages. Where are they going? What are they targeting? Where do they do a lot of their work? On the ground and the distance, blah, blah, blah. Pretty even numbers here. Jones, 7th highest leg striking percentage in the division. And Ronnie Lawrence, look at that, 64%, almost 65% of his strikes have come by way of the ground. So, man, if he gets Jones down, Jones might be in for a long night. Last 5 fights, no reason to go over this because their numbers are the exact same as the numbers we just talked about. And we'll look at their fights here. Let's see. Opponents' win record, strength of schedule, strength of victory, strength of defeat, blah, blah, blah. Decent numbers here. Nothing over 70, which is what you want to see, 70 to 75. But, you know, unlike the Kosuke and Rowe fight, these numbers are much better. So almost 69% opponents win percent. Or, yeah, opponents win percent, sorry. Last 5, strength of schedule, 69 there as well. 68 strength of victory, and almost 69 strength of defeat. So not great numbers. Nothing's jumping out at me or anything. But not bad either. And pretty much identical numbers on the other side for Ronnie Lawrence in the mid to high 60s, with his strength of defeat being his best number at 73. So there's the numbers in their fights. You can take a look at that if you wish. Yeah, it's great. Trevin Jones going against Timur Valiev, minus 5.73 striking differential, and then he catches him with a crazy right hook, drops him, and then of course Valiev starts trying to wrestle the referee and whatnot. So that was an interesting fight that should not have been overturned. Anyways, that's a bit of editorialization. Let's finish up this comparison with the graphical analysis. Blue line is our fighter, orange line is their opponents. Dashed lines rather are the trend lines for each, and the solid green line is our average, solid yellow is our opponent's average. So if you take a look at that here, Trevin Jones not looking great in the striking department, but did get better between fights, better in takedowns, and he is better at control time. And Ronnie Lawrence, this is what you want to see. Green way above the yellow, blue lines way up towards the top, blue trend lines going up, looking fantastic. So that is the statistical breakdown for Trevin Jones versus Ronnie Lawrence coming up this weekend. UFC Fight Night, Hall versus Strickland. Please do not take these numbers as gospel. As we know, there is not a lot of volume here, not a lot of UFC history to go through here for these guys. However, please make sure to do your tape. That's the most important part. Get that tape done. Compare it with the fights, or compare it with the stats, I should say. This is, you know, this isn't the end all be all. Like I said in my last video, this should be a good companion piece for your tape. So get that tape watched, make some good picks, make some good bets, and let's all enjoy the fights this weekend, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.